Good night and welcome to another segment of the Police Checkpoint Talk Show. I'm your host, PC Casimiro. For tonight, we have a good show lined up. First, we'll have some guests from the Liquor Licensing Board. That includes Mr. George Louis Boyton, Mr. Cruz, and Mr. Rivas. After which, we will have Senior Superintendent and Officer Commanding the Western Region, Mr. Andrew Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez will be here to talk to us about the Firearms Act and also to give us an update of the recent murders that happened in his area of responsibility. You can sit back, relax, and you can join the conversation. Our lines will be open if you want to call in or send in your queries or concerns. You can get us on the phone number 631-9985. That number again is 631-9985. All right, sit back, relax, enjoy, join us, send in your concerns. I will be right back with our first guest.
Who said that deals only happen once a year or only on special occasions? Walk into one of our Central TV and Internet offices to get free installation, free modem, and free MyTV subscriptions. Visit us whether you're in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, or Benque. Or give us a toll-free call at 0800 Cable TV. Central TV and Internet. Bundle and save.
Bundle and save. Bundle and save. Central TV and Internet.
Who said that deals only happen once a year or only on special occasions? Walk into one of our Central TV and Internet's offices to get free installation, free modem, and free MyTV subscriptions. Visit us whether in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, or Benque. Or give us a toll-free call at 0800 Cable TV. Central TV and Internet. Bundle and save.
Bundle and save. Bundle and save. Central TV and Internet.
welcome back to the Police Checkpoint. I'm here with my first few guests. We have Mr. George Louis Boyton to my left, who is the chairman of the Liquor Licensing Board for the San Ignacio Santa Elena Town Council. Along with him, we have Mr. Cruz and Mr. Rivas, who are also member of the Liquor Licensing Board. Now, Mr. Boyton, since you're the chairman, who is Mr. Boyton?
Good night, viewers. I'm George Boyton, councillor at the San Ignacio Santa Elena Town Council, and also the chairman of the Cayo Liquor Licensing Board. Tonight, we are here to share with you about the recent liquor extensions that we the board sat down and discussed about the procedures we are going to go through in further issuing of extensions to the different nightclubs.
All right, Mr. Boyton. Mr. Cruz?
Yeah, well,
Tell the
tonight,
viewers.
ladies and gentlemen, my name is Simon Clemente Cruz. I guess each and everybody that is listening right now knows me because I born and go here. So, like what Mr. Boyton mentioned, you have certain things that is affecting our community right now, which is something that we would call noise pollution. But at this moment, you have to think about the two groups of people, one that has business and the one that the noise is affecting. And we have to be lenient with both of them. So we have to try to look at this thing passively and see what we can do to make life better for the people of Santa Elena and San Ignacio.
All right, Mr. Rivas?
Good night, everyone. Good night, viewers. My name is Nelson Rivas. I am also the minister's aide to Minister Montero, who is also the Minister of Works and Transport, and as well as NEMO, and he represents the Cayo Central.
All right. Now, Mr. Cruz, I heard you mention in your introduction about noise pollution
Yeah.
and the clubs.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit, please, and tell me what is your app in order to try and remedy that situation?
All right, what really happens that we have gotten several letters from certain people from the society. We have people that have hotels and whatnot and things like that, and they say that some of the noise is really affecting their business because sometimes the guests cannot sleep properly because of the noise and whatnot and things like that. You know, so like I mentioned before, the noise affects them, we know it, so we will try and do something about it. Because what used to happen that these guys used to get licensed every week or whatnot and so on, they used to get extension. But then we decided as a board that we will not continue down that way, you know? And we decided that we will talk to the people that are involved, that have the nightclubs and whatnot, so that we can get to a solution to kind of ease the noise and whatnot so that everybody can be happy.
All right, very good. Also, one of the questions I should have asked before
Yeah.
I went into that, Mr. Cruz, is was to be directed to the chairman, Mr. Boyton. How is the liquor licensing board formed, sir?
The Liquor Licensing Board is appointed by the minister. He appoints the members to be on the board. This board was appointed in January of this year, and it will serve until January of next year.
All right, and what are the powers of the liquor licensing board?
The powers of the Liquor Licensing Board is to go by and check the different premises before the liquor license issued to them, that everything is in order according to the laws and regulations of the liquor licensing the Liquor Licensing Act.
Okay. And how strict is this board in vetting application for giving a license?
Well, we are trying our best to do go through all the rules and regulations. You know that we will not do 100%, but we try to work with the health department and also the different establishments, no?
All right. Miss-
And, excuse me, and
Sorry.
also the concerns of the police
all right, very good.
are looked into very seriously.
I know the liquor licensing board and the police department work closely together. Mr. Cruz, back to your noise pollution situation. What is the remedy for that situation? Sir, is there something in the act that covers noise pollution?
Well, what covers the noise pollution is that the businesses that exist right now should be some proof, because this is not something that has just happened. This was in the making for quite some time already, but it it has not put into practice, and these are the things that we have to do. Because if you want everything to be all right, then you have to set the standards. Because if you don't set the standards, the thing will stay the same. Like I said before, we are not here to pressure any individual. We just want that the owners know that they need to do certain things, because it takes a certain criteria so that you can get your license and you can make all your noise that you want, and it won't bother anyone.
All right. And is there a certain time limit for you to be making all those noises, sir?
Well, what really happened, when you say about the limit, you mean about long term, or?
No, I mean
or
time limit.
you mean-
Like if I want to have a dance,
Yeah.
and my place isn't soundproof, it's an open
Uh-huh.
building. What is the time limit that I
All right.
have that dance?
What really happened that the liquor license board would give you license up to 2 o'clock, right? Then you would, if you want to get an extension, you get an extension. But what really happened now, we have decided that if you cannot control the noise, you got to bring down your noise after 2 o'clock in the morning. If you cannot do that, then we cannot issue a license to you, because then we won't be doing anything. So after 2, you got to slow down with the noise.
All right. And as for certain businesses in town, I know that they get police officers in order to work at the clubs as such. But out of town, when it comes to noise pollution, is there a certain number that people could contact you guys on to look into the matter?
Well, really and truly, I know that Georgeville and these other villages, I don't know, but I understand that whenever they are making noise, the police goes and deal with that. The police really is doing a very, very good job, because these are things that you get from the people down there. That when these people are making a lot of noise, some police vehicle or somebody would come and let them know you got to slow down with this noise. So I really and truly appreciate what the police are doing. They are doing a very good job, man.
All right. Going back to that again, I know that as a police officer, I've seen whereby like there are certain Chinese stores that open after hours. It was in discussion the idea that under their license, I think the Chinese are able to operate till midnight. However, they close at 9 p.m. I've seen situations where some of them open after hours, and through the rickets they're selling beer. Sometimes the police go around and they close them down, but is there something under the act that the liquor licensing board could do about it?
Yeah, I can elaborate on that. Most definitely. We have had concerns from citizens stating that within their immediate residential area, that certain establishment, in this case the Chinese establishment, as the officer had said, have gotten a type of license, because there are different type of license that they apply for, and they get these license and they should be closed within a certain time frame. Afterwards, we find out that they are selling liquor, and with the help of the police officers again, what I must commend, they go around and shut down these businesses. If at any point the liquor license board would get a hold of these names for the further future, when we extend the licenses again, it would be good, it would be beneficial that the liquor license board get names of these businesses so that it can be dealt with forthwith.
All right. A text message just came in, and the concerned person wants to know, is there anything being done, or will there be anything that you guys will do in order to enforce the soundproofing of businesses?
Yeah, we will do something about it, because we had already decided that we will meet as a board with the individuals that have their businesses, and we will explain to them what they need to do. They need to let their business be soundproof that does not affect the residents in the communities where they have this noise and whatnot. So we have already discussed that. We have that on the table. We are to meet with them and discuss it with them. So well, this is an order that was given to these guys from the town council. The last.
The liquor license act.
Well,
Okay.
it is hereby ordered that subject to paragraph 4 below, all license issued under the act authorizing the consumption of liquor on the premises shall be subject to the condition that if loud music is played or dance or other events are held on licensed premises with the accompaniment of loud music, such premises shall be soundproof to the satisfaction of the board. So just listen to what I say. Such premises shall be soundproof to the satisfaction of the board.
Just to
So,
jump in,
uh-huh.
don't you think it will be a little too stressful or problematic in order to go back now to a business and ask them to soundproof rather than doing it before the license was issued?
Well, last liquor license board from last year had issued a letter to these establishments that by the end of this year, to jump into 2017, they should have already soundproof. So that is, we will carry it on from there. That whosoever is elected to be the chairman or to serve as a chairman, he will take it on from there.
All right.
Because they have already been given that notice.
Okay. One more question from myself. Is there anything under the act? I know the police enforce a lot of laws because we are mostly here to maintain law and order. But is there anything under the Liquor Licensing Act that that warrants a person to be held accountable for such an offense when it comes to like loud music?
It's supposed to be in the same act that it's a noise abatement. A person who or on any premises uses or causes or allows to be used any equipment in such a way as to cause or to allow it to emit unreasonable noise from those premises commits an offense. So it's in the laws.
All right. Can I see this paper, please?
Sure.
All right. Also, apart from us having the discussion here and talking about all this, is there any action that you're ready to put in place if people do not get on board with what you're requesting?
As as we have said, right? We took over in January of this year, 2016. There was a letter that the chairman had said previously that was given to these establishments to soundproof their establishment. There is a year probation within that letter that was given to these establishments. Within that year, they have to make necessary changes if they want to maintain their establishments open. We can either suspend the licenses for these establishments, or we can either put them on probation. And this is what they're under right now. They're under a probation period of a year to get their establishment soundproof.
All right. And it's safe to say a failure to soundproof your establishment will warrant the dismissal or the honing of your
license. Correct.
All right. Very good. All right. We are going to take a short break. I will be right back.
Who said that deals only happen once a year or only on special occasions? Walk into one of our Central TV and Internet's offices to get free installation, free modem, and free MyTV subscriptions. Visit us whether in Belicity, Belmopan, San Ignacio, or Benque. Or give us a toll-free call at 0800 Cable TV. Central TV and Internet. Bundle and save.
Bundle and save. Bundle and save. Central TV and Internet.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of my TV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. My TV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's MyTV, you're always in the game.
More vehicle owners are switching to the PureGuard line of motor oils, and with good reason. PureGuard comes in different grades and specifications. It carries the API certification and comes with the Westrack stamp of approval, guaranteed to make your engine run cleaner and longer, up to 10,000 miles. With PureGuard motor oil, your engine will have less wear and tear, give you maximum performance on the road, and give your vehicle better fuel mileage.
PureGuard, good quality, affordable oil.
Distributed
Good night again, folks, and welcome back to the Police Checkpoint Talk Show. If you're just joining us, you can text in your queries and concerns to phone number 631-9985. Phone number again is 631-9985. I'm still here with Mr. Boyton, Mr. Cruz, and Mr. Rodas has just joined us during the break. Now, we'll go back to the phone lines. Mr. Boyton, is the Liquor Licensing Board only responsible for San Ignacio and Santa Elena?
The Liquor Licensing Board is also responsible for the surrounding villages as far as Black Manatee. We also are responsible for the villages of San Antonio, Cristo Rey, 7 Miles, Billy White, Santa Familia, Bully Tree, and as far as Chalk Creek.
All right.
Buena Vista.
Also Buena Vista.
Okay. This caller called in and asked the question, does the casino operate outside the laws of the Liquor Licensing Act when it comes to extensions?
No, not really. The casino works in the same line of responsibilities as any other business. What really happens that when you talk about the casino has everything that is needed so that they can, all the requirements are met because they are soundproof. They don't make any kind of noise pollution or anything like that. They have their security plus they have other security that they use. So whenever you go to the casino and you get in that door, you don't hear any noise, or when you're outside, you cannot hear any sound from inside the casino. So they meet the criteria for getting the extension. So they operate under the same rules and regulations as the other business.
I think the casino have no problem, you know. I think the casino got no problem because I've been in the casino weeks in, weeks out, and I never from here at night from outside. So I think the casino have no problem.
All right. Also, does the Liquor Licensing Board have an equipment to test for noise level? I know that the environmental officer, I think Mr. Mai had one time when I was in Georgeville, we worked together.
You have
but
one.
Does the Liquor Licensing Board
Yes.
have one?
Yes, we have one.
We do have one.
All right, and that is used for the test noise level, and what is done after you've done the testing and you see that the noise level is actually above the limit?
Well, from this point onwards, we are going to come out and do noise checking, testing in the different establishments that the complaints come from.
All right, and I know that will be done with the police, right?
With the police.
All right. So Ignacio is too small for so many bars. What can be done about that? Go ahead, Mr. Ramirez.
This is a new board. We just meet them. We come to meet all those bars already. So we will get, I think we will get the act together.
All right. So I know that before the departure of Mr. Rivas, he mentioned that some businesses are under probation for a year in order to soundproof. And he also mentioned that when you guys took over office, you met all these problems. Mr. Rodas is mentioning again that you came into office and met all these small bars.
That's right.
Right? Now, you also mentioned that you will look into it and you will get to the bottom of it. And I think that will go hand in hand again with what Mr. Rivas said, that you put them on probation and find the best solution in order to maybe close them down or have them join with somebody else.
Well, we don't want to close them down, you know, because everybody needs to survive. Once they follow the rules and the regulation, I don't see why we should close down anybody. Everybody got to live, everybody got to survive. We're not closing down any business. Once they abide by the rules, we've got no problem with them.
Yeah, well, that's right what he said. You don't want to close any business, but if the business do not meet the criteria, if they don't try to meet the criteria or they are acting unlawfully, we will have to do something about it.
All right.
Because you cannot just let this thing happen over and over and over. You know, once a bar is not in line with the rules and regulations that govern the Intoxicated Liquor License Act, then either you will suspend them for a while or you will take away their license.
One thing I want to say, this board is not the board 8 years, 9 years about. This board will be a good board.
All right.
Yeah.
So
we will be straightforward.
Apart from all that you've mentioned, is there any other challenges that the board faces on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, we face a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to the Chinese community, because they actually sell alcohol on their premises and they consume it on the premises. What really happened that we as the board cannot just go and do what we want. We have to deal with the police and get the assistance of the police and go to these premises and deal with it. And like I said before, if the people don't want to adhere to the rules, then like I said, we are a board, we are a new board, but we are not here to play games with anybody. We are serious about what we are doing.
All right.
That's right.
And when it comes to the licensing of a business, what is the procedure that that person needs to go through in order to register their business and obtain a license?
What kind of business?
Maybe a little bar, maybe a restaurant and bar to make it.
Well, any business, when it comes to that deals with liquor and whatnot,
exactly,
has to advertise on a newspaper or whatnot their intentions to open a business and whatnot and things like that. And then they have to get the advertisement receipt and whatnot. So when they come to the meeting, they bring it to the board. Then the board in turn will look at the individual establishment and whatnot and see what is happening with the establishment. Because you get the public health involved, they go and check the establishment to see that everything is all right when it comes to bathroom facilities and everything and whatnot. So when we are going to issue the license, we have the fire service, because they also go and check the premises. So you have the fire service, you have the health, and you have the police along with the liquor license board.
All right.
And also the business cannot be close to a church or a school.
Yeah.
All right. And is there any revenues collected for these licenses by the board?
No, the board does not collect any money. The town council collects from the establishments that are the urban areas, right? The rural area is supposed to be paid where?
At Treasury.
At the Treasury Department. That's where the rural, the villages and whatnot go and pay. But the urban area in the town and whatnot pays the town council.
All right. This text message says that too much liquor is being sold to underage children. What could be done about that? In regards to that question, I don't think that is something for the board actually to answer. I don't think even the police could answer that question.
Yeah.
I think it mostly has to go with the proprietors of these businesses and how carefully they have to look at someone before they sell them alcoholic beverages. All right. I don't think that is something for the board. And us as police officers, we've also had complaints of underage children drinking, smoking, purchasing cigarettes and alcohol beverages. We tried our best in order to remedy the situation, but I say it's difficult. It's a very difficult task because we're not always at stores where we can see people go in and buy. We can't always be like, how old are you? Show me your ID. Right? It's very difficult. So that's something that I think the proprietors will need to look at, and also the parents of these children. Right? Keep them close, monitor them, try to ensure that they're not following bad company and they don't find themselves with that drug abuse.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. Well, you have penalties that these people can face, you know. Like I said, all we need is to get the support of the police and ourselves decide to go out there and do spot checks and whatnot, and anybody that is found doing things like that, you can penalize them. You can even suspend your license once you have the proof, you know. And we are serious, like I said, we will try our best to work along with the police and do spot checks with these people, because this thing has to stop. I mean, really and truly, how could you ever look at a society that has children underage smoking and drinking, and you, the proprietor, is selling them alcohol and whatnot? I mean, that's ridiculous. You cannot tolerate things like that to be continue happening in our society. It's time for a change. Like I said, we are serious. We are not here to play games.
It's like what the chairman said.
Yeah.
We are start to visit all the business them. We won't tell them when, or what time, or what day. But we will just bust in. So they should always be prepared for us.
I know you have the support of the police.
Definitely.
So I am sure to say that whenever it is time for you to conduct any kind of operation, Mr. Rosado, Superintendent of Police and Officer commanding the San Ignacio Police Formation, I know he is more than willing to get on board. All right. This text out mentions that the establishments should have male and female security guards. Is that right? And they also say that they have seen businesses that only employs male security guards.
Yeah.
I don't think, again, that is something from the liquor licensing board
Yeah.
that has to do with the business itself.
the business itself.
Because to be honest, I've worked at the at Thirsty Thursdays, and I've also worked at Blue Angels when it comes to special.
But it's a good
duty
suggestion.
fragrance.
Yeah, but
It's a good suggestion.
I know. Blue Angels does get female security guards because, again, for male police officers, it is not advised, or they cannot search a female.
Yeah.
Right. So with this this text message that came in with female security guards is a very good idea, and it is something that we should look at.
Yes,
and
but
put into
it is in
practice.
the app. It is in the
It's in the
app
app?
that
It is in
you
the app,
should
yeah.
have a male and
And
female.
female
Female,
security
yeah.
guard.
Yes, it is in the
Yeah.
app.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add, Mr. Boyton?
Well, I just want to end with saying that this board will always work and collaborate with the concerns of our citizens and the police. And for the safety of our citizens, we will try to do our best, right? Because there's a lot of concerns out there, and we will be addressing them in a one-on-one basis, no?
All right. Very good. You want to add anything else, Mr. Rodas, before
Well,
we
I don't.
go back to another
Yeah,
topic?
I got something to say about the community. They feel like we are closing down the business of them. We are not closing no business. We are not closing down Blue Angels, Thursday, Chinaman, nobody. Everybody has to live. Everybody wants to survive. Once they get their act together.
So it's basically, if you want to keep flourishing, follow the rules.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
All right. A last message just came in before we close up. When it comes to village liquor licenses, all right, I think this person is mostly referring to a bar or a restaurant and bar. How long does it actually take, or how long is the process actually for them to receive their license?
It's the same as any other license.
Alright.
You come to the meeting, you
Present
advertise your intentions, you come to the meeting with your receipt and whatnot and you go through the same process. What really happened that at some point you might say, all right, today or this morning we will do the urban areas. This evening or tomorrow we will do the rural areas. But it's not something that it's different, that you have to go through different procedures and whatnot. No, it's the same procedure, just that you have to come and present your.
All right. So it's the same time span for the rural and urban.
Yeah, it's the
areas.
same.
All
But
right.
is it a new bar or it's a bar already?
Seems like a new bar.
It's a new bar.
Yeah. Well, I think when it comes to the licensing and waiting on your license, I think the safest thing to do is to just visit the office and maybe call it there, and maybe then they can give you an answer as to why there's a delay with your license.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, what really happened if because you give out license at a certain period of the year, maybe you are not ready to apply for a license at that time. So maybe afterwards you want to apply for a license, then the chairman has to call a special meeting so that you can apply for that license. So that might be the only difference, but that is because you did not come on the appointed time that you wanted to open a license.
All right.
So that's the only difference.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the discussion we had here tonight with the Liquor Licensing Act and the Liquor Licensing Board, it doesn't only, they're not only referring to Cayo, it is countrywide, because I know people in other areas face the same problem that the board here in Cayo faces. If there's any queries or concern or report that you'd like to make, you can always visit the Liquor Licensing Board in your area. Thank you, Mr. Boyton, Mr. Rodas, and Mr. Cruz for joining us on the talk show. The conversation had here tonight was very informative, and I'm sure that the viewers are much satisfied with the questions that they placed forward and you answered. If there is anybody that would like to get in contact with any one of you, is there any phone number that a person or a concerned caller could contact you on?
Yeah, you could contact me at Mr. Cruz at 605-1697.
605-1697,
or the chairman at
My number is 623 76
76
35.
35.
So that
623
Mr.
76
My number is
35.
605
605
5688.
5688. 605 5688. All
Or
right.
they could also contact the town council.
The town
Yeah.
council. All right. All right. Thank you guys very much for being a part of the
Yeah.
show. I hope we could have you here again, and Mr.
Yeah.
Chris, the police, is more than willing to work with you guys in the area
Yes,
for research. Just
I know.
mentioning it.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I've seen it.
Yes, I know
Yeah,
that.
and I really and truly like how the police are working right now.
Yes, I know that
Yeah,
you
you
met
know.
Mr. Rosado,
Yeah.
Senior Superintendent,
Right.
Officer Commanding St. Nazaire Police Foundation. I've had meetings with you guys to
Yeah.
address some of the same situations. So I think it was very informative, and I had to put those out there as to what the liquor licensing board is actually doing and will be doing in the near future.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you guys very much. We'll be right back with our second guest, Senior Superintendent, Mr. Andrew Ramirez, right after the break.
All right. Covered.
Who said that deals only happen once a year or only on special occasions? Walk into one of our Central TV and Internet offices to get free installation, free modem, and free MyTV subscriptions. Visit us whether you're in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, or Benque. Or give us a toll-free call at 0800 Cable TV. Central TV and Internet. Bundle and save.
Bundle and save. Bundle and save. Central TV and Internet.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of my TV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. My TV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
Okay, welcome back to the Police Checkpoint. I'm your host again, PC Casimiro. I'm here with my second guest, Senior Superintendent Andrew Ramirez, Officer Commanding the Western Region. Mr. Ramirez, welcome to the talk show. It's very nice to have you here. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Your people asked for you for the last 2 weeks. Finally, we could get you on the talk show. I know it's been a while since you've been here. Congratulations on the promotion again. Can you just give the viewers an overview again about who is Mr. Andrew Ramirez now?
Yes, good night, television viewers. My name is Andrew Ramirez. Now a Senior Superintendent of Police. I'm also the Western Regional Commander. I'd like to say good night to the rank and file of the Western Region. I'd like to say good night to Officer Commanding Boropan, Superintendent Gillett, the Acting Commander for Rain Creek, Woman Sergeant Joseph, Officer Commanding St. Ignacio, Superintendent Richard Rosado, and Officer Commanding Benke Formation, Superintendent Daniel Azu. I'd like to say good night to my Commissioner, Mr. Alan Wiley, the other senior officers, and all officers the length and breadth of the country, please, and especially you television viewers in St. Ignacio. Yes, Mr. Casimiro, indeed I was out for some time. I just came back from Boston, Massachusetts, regarding a computer statistics, what is known as CompStat training in Boston, Massachusetts, United States of America. I was along with Commissioner Wiley, Mr. Brasa, Mr. Jester Williams, and others. A very informative course. I'd like to say thanks a lot to the United States Embassy here in Belize for allowing us senior officers to know what the Boston Police Department has as best practices, because in order to fight this crime issue that we have worldwide, we need strong partnership, and I think the Americans has from time to time expressed their willingness to support us, the police department, especially the police department. So yes, I was out, but whoever, Mr. Casimiro, I'm here because of the checkpoint, which was always a dream from, I think, Mr. Patrick Jones, Corporal Jason Jones. I'd like to say good night to Jason Jones as well. He's on well-deserved vacation. But it is a talk show that I always support, and I hope that it does not fade off, because it is for us to work together. I had a former commissioner of police who had mentioned that we should not be working harder, but smarter. By having this checkpoint talk show, it is one of my ideas to educate the public about how I would want us to work together, police and community, working in partnership for a safer Belize. Before I continue, Mr. Casimiro, I'd just like to say on behalf of the Belize Police Department, our sincerest and deepest sympathy to the loss of 7 lives over last week, 7 irreplaceable lives. The quick synopsis for those persons who may not have heard of the 7, but we have had the death of the 2 Guatemalans that was found between mile 69 and 70. That investigation remains again a challenge. Whilst we suspect it was an indeed drug-related issue, but the manner as to how these individuals were executed sort of is a frightening reality of organized crime that borders Guatemala and Belize. And this, I believe that these will not be the only murders of that magnitude within this border line with Guatemala and Belize. We also had the death of Mr. Guillaume de Leon in Camalote. Again, another troubling and challenging investigation due to its isolation. Even if we had patrol vehicles out during that period, it still would have resulted as being a very challenging one. Then we had the unfortunate incident here in Santa Elena with Miss Elizabeth Miriam Mai along with Miss Daisy Miralda, which again we had the case where they come out he is still alive, although people have had the rumors about the person being dead, but he's still under police guard at the KHMH. And then we have the 2 recent in Camalote of Mr. Timbrel and Mr. Lopez. That matter, at this point in time, we have not executed an arrest. We have presently a total of 3 persons detained. We have 2 males and a female. So that would be the update in relation to the mourners. But I find these 7 within a week very disturbing, and definitely there is much more that we need to do in regards to educating the public, because some of these, especially when a crime is planned, the possibility of it being solved is very challenging. Governing the death of the 2 females, yes, I think the guy was a security guard, and I also believe that the guy had been arrested by the police recently. I also believe that his supervisor or bosses should have been a bit more cautious in having him sign for a gun during the process. And also, what is also disturbing, that we still have establishments selling persons in uniform alcohol. Yes, police is not the only entity that should not be sold alcohol in uniform, but I believe every person who is in uniform should not be sold any type of liquor. But I find it very interesting here in Belize, it is like a norm. If you go over the borders, these are the free zones, both in northern and western, it is just sort of an excitement to see whether it be immigration officers, customs officers, police officers, security guard, border management officers, of all of these officials that has a very important role to play, consuming alcohol in their uniform. It is, from my opinion, it's very embarrassing to see security officials, immigration, customs in uniform drinking. Where is that sense of pride or that patriotism that we have? So once again, for these television viewers, that is the synopsis of the 7 murders that we have. I'm really, really hurted in relation to all of these murders, and I would hope that, especially the matter with the domestic violence, can come to an abrupt halt, or more can be done, whether it be intervention, because apparently incarceration is not resolving any one of these matters. As a matter of fact, my opinion again, that the more these guys are being remanded for domestic issues, we have an increase of these situations, because right after the death of the 2 females, Miss Mai and Miss Miranda, we had almost 10 domestic violence related issues within the Western region. So I believe that we need immediate, very immediate intervention. One way or the other, the police would be the last resort, but we desperately need urgent intervention. And for those females who are being physically abused, take time out, try look some counseling or whatever. It is getting more violent. First it was the financial holdback of the monies, then it becomes the verbal abuse, now it goes to the violence, and then the murder. Because once it reaches to the violent part, we are there next to murder. And what happened with the two is that the guy basically went and consumed alcohol. So you know that he was looking at the easy way out to bring out his frustration. Some people will say he did not have his manhood with him because he needed the alcohol intervention to get that out, right? And unfortunately and regretfully, he's still alive.
All right. Thank you for that, Mr. Ramirez. Text message came in asking why the man who killed the two men has not been charged yet. As the officer previously mentioned, he's still in the hospital under police guard. Is the investigation being conducted? And I'm sure that after he is released and he is maybe in a stable condition, that charges will be levied against him.
Against
the guy that murdered the two females.
Yes, definite. As soon as the guy is capable to answer to his charge, he will be faced with 2 counts of murder upon Miss Maya and Miss Miranda.
All right, very good. This text message came in and asked about the different uniforms that the police officers use. I'm sure that the patrol branch uses the number 1 uniform. Then there's MIT in their own version of digital camouflage, the SPU in their digital camouflage. We also have the K9 unit in their own digital camouflage. We have QRT. We have the strike team from Illicite. There are a number of different uniforms that the police uses. And I know sometimes it makes it difficult for the members of the public to identify a police officer outside of that number 1 uniform. Is there something that the police officers in those different uniforms, apart from just the badge that they wear, can they do or have something on them to show that they are a police officer?
That's a very good observation, Mr. Casimiro, and that observation is also expressed by members of the community. Why? Because several of these type of uniforms are also sold in the public domain. I know for one that the present commissioner, Mr. Alan Wiley, and his team of senior managers are presently reviewing how we can standardize the uniform. Even what we refer to as the number 1 for the sergeant to constable rank, which is a khaki with the blue pants and a gray stripe, that was inherited from back when we were under British rule, and it's about time that we have our national identity or Belizean uniform, so to speak. So that is one. The matter with the specialized unit, again, that is also being reviewed. But from time to time, we have different international law enforcement agencies who equip their own, what we call a SWAT, or quick response team, and then they would come here on an official visit. They admire our efforts that we are doing, and they tend to donate a couple of these BDUs, which is a battle dress uniform, and that's why we have several units, and they may have different colors. But that matter is also being reviewed by the present commissioner and his management team in relation to the uniform.
All right. Also, because the reason I ask is because, like, I've visited the market a few times. I know you have too, and I see people at the market selling these uniforms, these camouflage uniforms. And also, I've seen members of the public, security guards, civilians, wearing these uniforms. It's like anybody can get their hands on the uniform and some of the camouflage uniform that the police wear. And that is the reason I asked the question. And it makes it difficult because there were some robberies that occurred in Belize City, if you can recall, with the robbers using police uniform. And also, again, Colin stated that the shooter in the Kamalote incident was wearing camouflage. So that is the reason why I asked the question, because it's like a battle for the members of the public.
Yes, and the matter with the camouflage, that's what I refer to as hunting girls. I know under the Defense Act, it is an offense to be in possession of military uniform. But we cannot just assume because it is a camouflage, it's a military. However, if you find somebody who is not a member of the BDF and he has on a camouflage full girls that marks BDF, and he's not a BDF, then he commits the offense of wearing or being in possession of a military gears. But apart from that, it is a very challenging one that these things are basically in the public's domain.
All right. I know you have your own agenda on the show. Sorry for interrupting with the questions. We'll just ask this question and then we get back into our agenda for tonight. This caller is asking what will the police do in order to work along with the community of San Antonio due to the incident that happened last week?
Well, I think the matter with San Antonio, Mr. Rosado, who is the officer commanding San Ignacio, has his plan out. One, I know that the building is not habitable. However, if it's an incident that involves the chopping up of a male individual, the person that did the chopping up is mentally challenged. That's another scenario on its own to manage these persons that are not mentally stable, Mr. Casimiro, because it's a sad scenario, there's no doubt about it. I have informed Mr. Rosado the best way forward to deal with it. And I have not gotten an update in relation to it, so hopefully tomorrow I can get it. And if the person can just text the number or his or her number, then we can give that person a response. Because from time to time, some question will be posed to me, and I will not be in a position to answer there and then. And I don't want to assume.
True.
Right? But I want to give you guys a factual answer, because if I'm telling you guys that I want to work together with you, it is not for me to be very deceptive or that deceptive in relation to your concern. So regrettably, that matter with San Antonio will need to be addressed by Officer Commanding San Antonio.
All right. Mr. Ramirez, we had a bloody weekend, you can call it, with 7 murders. I think most, if not all of the murders are gun-related. Are there laws that govern the use of these firearms or person that carry these firearms?
Yes, Mr. Casimiro. First of all, I would like to say laws are just words. Anytime you pick up a law book, it is just words. So whenever you have these attorneys, it is the same thing that you and I can read. Our laws of Belize governing firearms is found at chapter 143 of the laws of Belize. Now for you guys who have access to internet, what you can do, you can type in belizelaw.org, BELIZELAW.org, and when it opens, you go on the laws of Belize, you click laws of Belize, and then you go onto the laws of Belize. In the event that you do not know which laws you're looking for, the next question asks you that you can send a search word, a word that you believe you want to know. For example, under the Firearms Act, then you just type in Firearms Act, and then the chapter 143 will pop out, and then you will then access the Firearms Act. The Firearms Act will only give you what is referred to as a principal act. Processes and type of licenses that you need to obtain. The issuance of a gun license is under the Commissioner's authority, Section 7(1) of the laws, of this specific laws. And it also tells you what type of licenses that you may apply for. For example, you have the farmer's license, you have the special protection license, you have the sport hunter's license, you have the gun repair license, and there was an amendment that brought in the company gun license. It is for these security guards, amongst others. And it also governs how diplomats can get a gun license. The issuance of a gun license is not a right, it is a privilege. Unlike the American system, the right to bear arms, it is a privilege. In other words, you must show justifiable reasons for that license to be issued, right? Because under Section 3(1), it says that no person shall own, keep, carry, use, or any firearm or ammunition unless the person has been granted a gun license. So if you do not have a gun license in accordance to Section 3 or Section 7, which gives the Commissioner authority to issue a license, then you commit the offense and you spend some jail time. But I am not here to wish you to go to jail. I'm here to explain to you that there is a process that you need to go through in order to be granted a gun license. One, you need to be over 21 years of age. Once the Principal Act had indicated 16, there were some amendments back in 2011, 2012 that changed the age from 16 to 21. And I believe that the age increased because when you look within our region, the Central American region and the Caribbean region, most of these countries have their age as 21. So I think it's what is referred to as under these international workshops that you harmonize laws. So the harmonization of the Firearms Act is in conformity with what we have in the region. Right? So you must be over 21. The other thing, you must not have been convicted for any crime of violence or dishonesty. So if you have been convicted for robbery, burglary, handling stolen goods, obtaining property of deception, all of these theft crimes, there is no need for you to apply. If you have been charged for murder amongst these violence against persons, don't need to apply. However, the law also gives the Commissioner the discretion, because after 5 years, if you have not committed yourself within 5 years, the law says, you know what, Commissioner can give you that second chance. But I don't know if they will give a second chance for murder, right? But that's another one. Then you must be a fit and proper person. In other words, you must not be an ill-tempered person, like you blow a tap, you like to get in fight amongst others. You must also show, again I had mentioned justifiable reason. In other words, you must probably have a business. Probably you always work along with the police in a maybe citizen or patrol program, special counsels amongst others, and you feel a threat for your life because of that working relationship. Again, it is everything I want to emphasize is at the discretion of the Commissioner of Police. He's the sole authority. Then you must have necessary security measures. So you must have a safe, right? You must have a safe. You cannot leave your firearms under a pillar. We have had some very unfortunate incident where the child end up with a gun and shoot himself or herself. Then we have a case where a guy went to drink alcohol in PG and he left his shotgun right outside of the bar. He was so intoxicated that when the guy passed, walked off with his gun, the guy could not even walk and catch the fellow. He was lucky the guy did not turn the gun on him. Right? So the process is, whenever you want to apply for a gun license, one, you need to have a valid police record. Valid police record. you must have two recommendations. Two recommendations. If you have a business, you must have a copy of your trade license, right? Whenever you have these documents, then you fill out a firearm application form. Now the firearm application form is obtained at your station that you live. So if you live in San Ignacio, Santa Elena, you can retrieve it in San Ignacio. If you live in Benque, you go at Benque. That's the area, because the formation commander is the person that is responsible to make recommendation if he supports the application. Because what will then happen is that there's a vetting process that is done. They will look at the background, check your neighbors, check how you conduct yourself, and then based on that package is prepared and sent to police headquarters, where the commissioner will then peruse it. And if he agrees, he will approve it, then you will be given a phone call to say that you can pick up your letter of approval. Whenever you get the letter of approval now, you will then need to go to a police station. You will get a police officer, go to a licensed gun dealer, purchase the firearm, be escorted by the police to the police station where you will license the firearm. Upon licensing of that firearm, then you can then go back to the gun dealer, make your purchase of your ammunition, and then you can go where you come from.
So not because you have the letter of approval mean that you can carry around a firearm. You still need to obtain a license. Because
yes, the approval is just basically saying that yes, you have been permission to, yes. But then now what you need to do is to go along with a police and an escort to make the purchase of the firearm.
All right. And that same process for police officers who would like to obtain a firearm license, they need to follow that same process.
Yes, and that's a very good point again, because police officers believe that because they are police officers, that they automatically can get license. No, every police officer must go through the same process. Right? Because we have some lawless police officers. So they need to go through the police record, the same vetting, the same recommendation, and if the commissioner sees fit, then they will be approved.
All right, we'll be right back after the break with more.
Misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of my TV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. My TV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible My TV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's My TV, you're always in the game.
Who said that deals only happen once a year or only on special occasions? Walk into one of our Central TV and Internet's offices to get free installation, free modem, and free MyTV subscriptions. Visit us whether in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, or Benque. Or give us a toll-free call at 0800 Cable TV. Central TV and Internet. Bundle and save.
Bundle and save. Bundle and save. Central TV and Internet.
Welcome back to our viewers. I'm here with Mr. Ramirez again. Before the break, we were talking about firearms and the procedures to obtain a firearm license. We're also discussing about how the procedures relates to the police officers. Before that, we gave you an update of the murders in the area that happened over the weekend. And so we're just here again to continue off to give you guys all necessary information about firearms and what it entails and how they are governed by the law. Mr. Ramirez, this message came in. This person would like to know what is a prohibited firearm.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Casimiro. But before I answer the question regarding the prohibited firearm, there's two concerns that came to my attention. Basically, one, there's information around saying that a police officer was involved with the two mourners in Kamlote. I want to say categorically that that is not so. No police officer is involved or implicated in those mourners. So for that concern that is out there. I just wanted to lay down that no police officer, sincerely from my heart, there's no connection to any police officer being involved in those murders. And the other matter was how police act when persons go to the police stations, not only Ignacio station, but the police stations. I have always said, even prior to my arrival here in Ignacio, West Officer Commanding Corozal, I have always told officers that they were not lawmakers, they were law enforcers, and the world is wrong. You need to treat people professionally. We are basically working for the members of the public. I have had people complain that when they walk into the police station, they would be turned away by the police. I just want you guys, whoever get these experiences, to take note of the officer. If you find a regulation number, and you make an immediate report to the officer commanding. In this case, in Ignacio, reported to Mr. Rosado. I know that he's listening on the show. We need to get rid of these officers that do not support the ideology of being community and policing. We cannot allow and continue to allow this erosion of the image that we want to push forward. Mr. Casimiro, you are a very classical example of good policing. And the reason I'm saying it to you, the television viewers, that Mr. Casimiro was not selected as a co-host, but yet when Corporal Jones went on vacation, he took up the helm without negating or refusing. So these are proactive police officers that I like to be around with, because then they can learn from me, become a very proactive individual. But I ask you, video television viewers, do not hesitate in making a complaint. You can say that Mr. Ramirez tell you to make a complaint about them, because we need to get them out of Ignacio. And if I move out of the west and I go south or not, I don't want them along with me, because we need to improve our image. Now back to the question in regard to the prohibited firearms. There's a lot of guns that have become prohibited, but for you guys to understand properly, we have the Principal Act, and there were 5 different types of guns that were legislated as being prohibited. One was the 357 Magnum. The other one was a .44. The other one was a 7.62 or higher. The other was a Saraf shotgun, and the other was a machine gun of any caliber. Those were the 5 guns that were prohibited. The amendments now says that any rifle greater than .223 now becomes prohibited. So if you have the 240, 306, 308, 39, all of these have now become prohibited. If you have any handgun greater than 9mm, it is now prohibited. So the 10mm, the 40mm are now prohibited. For those, what I refer to as gonorrheros, these are gun fanatics who are much more versed than I am. They know that 7.62 have different caliber of guns, so to speak. Like the 306 is a greater than 7.62 or equal amount. The 308 is greater than 7.60. All of these guns now become, and the law, when it was amended, it referred to as a grandfather law. So it means that if you had it, like a 30-30 now is prohibited. If you had a 30-30, it is grandfather. That means that you will keep it until you lose it, you die, or something. Because if you lose it, you cannot get back another license. If you hand it over to your brother, so then that brother will not get license. But that is what is referred to as grandfather laws. When also the law changed in relation to the granting of license from 16 to 21. So at the passing of the law back in 2011-2012, if you were 19 in 2012 when you got your license, so when you become 20, then you must surrender the gun to the commissioner, and then at 21, then you go back to normal, because you were granted it at 19. But when the law change into effect, you say, okay, on the expiration of your birthday, then you must surrender. Right? But I don't think that there were much people, because one of the entities that have a lot of young people tend to hunt from small would be the Mennonite community. They love guns. Even the driving, if you go behind Spanish Code, sometimes you will see a tractor moving and nobody just, when I say a little head jump up and down, it's a young, but these Mennonite, despite that part of it, these are hard-working individuals and they train their kids from small to be independent. They go hunting. The little guys, 10, 11, 12, and they can shoot better than me. That was sure. But they are driving heavy-duty machinery amongst others. So I admire these. But again, we have laws in our country. I don't think we have separate laws for one for this community, the other for the other community. It is law within Belize.
All right, Mr. Ramirez. One thing I want to ask is, you mentioned that there are security agencies that hire these security guards and provide them with firearms. Is there anything that governs these entities in order, or that allows these entities to give or have their security guards use a firearm that is registered under them?
Yes, Mr. Casimiro. First of all, the management of the security guards falls under the Private Security and Investigation Services Control Act, Chapter 138:01. And it reads along with the Firearms Act. Presently, we have Superintendent Andres McKin, who manages that out of police headquarters. He is the one responsible to ensure that these security guards are licensed. The company have licensed firearms, amongst others, and he should be the one that gives out to commanders, at least quarterly or annually, a list of authorized security guards so that commanders can do spot checks. But there's room for improvement in regards to that. I also, Mr. Casimiro, I'm also a part of the Farm Policy Group for the Commissioner. So from time to time, myself, Mr. McKin, Mr. Bar Jones, who recently came back from a law degree, Mr. Julius Canton, who has now moved on to the Central Bank of Belize, we will sit as a policy group to discuss amendments to laws which we can recommend to the policymakers and the political directorate. So I'm still involved in relation to the processes and procedures governing security guards amongst others. But Mr. McKin is the focal point on the national level. He's representing the country of Belize on these international conferences, workshop. So, and he's doing a fair enough job at this point in time. So, in regard to this scenario here, he had informed me that the gun was licensed to the security company, Anchor Security to be exact, and that the security guard and the Bossios was a licensed security guard. So, that was it. But it matter if Bossios was authorized to have the gun at that time of the incident is to be investigated by the investigative team.
The reason I put the question out is because I think it's important for police officers that patrol on a daily basis.
They can spot check on these.
Yes, and so there's no need or there's no regulation whereby that if the company, the security company has the company license for this firearm, and the security guard is licensed under them, is there like a joint license whereby they give the gun to the security guard, or it's just that the security guard is licensed and they can use the firearm?
Yes, what happened is that there's a farm referred to as the PSI farm, PSI 6 farm, right? The PSI 6 farm refers to the Private Security Investigation Farm 6, which gives a list of all licensed guards. Then the PSI 5 give the listing of all farms. But the PSI 5 will indicate the location of each one of these farms. So what happened? For example, Anchor has different outlets, but they have the main office in Bolopan. The PSI farm will give the master list and will say 3 guns in Bolopan, 3 guns in Corozal, 3 guns, but the master list will give that. However, if 3 guns is in in Belopan, in San Ignacio, then that 3 gun, the officer commanding must know that 3 gun is at the anchor office in San Ignacio. And when they go inspect it, he must have those 3 guns. If he has a gun separate, then the company commits an offense. Right? So all of these things is regulated. It is just the management about it, because just PC, Superintendent McKin and our PC Ikal is doing that, and they have. Could you imagine, Mr. Casimiro, we have more security guards than police officers. Almost 3,000 security guards countrywide, and we have a little over 2,000 security guards and police officers within our midst. So the public is investing more in security, private security, than we have government security officers.
I know that at one point there were some security guards that would go to the police station to deposit their firearms after work and would go and sign for it to go on duty. I just need to ask, these security licenses with the security guards, there's a specific time limit where the security guards can have these firearms, or?
It's similar, Mr. Casimiro, that whenever you go on duty, because police department is an unarmed department, so whenever you go on DCP, for example, you would sign up for a gun. Upon reporting off duty, you need to sign it, right? That's the same way the security guards, you will see a tag. At the bottom, the tag would have a red marking. It means that you're authorized to use firearm whilst on duty. So as he signs off duty, right? Because what happened with Bustios, if he had a good supervisor, he would not have had the gun. Because at the time of signing off, the security manager or supervisor should have gone and took over his firearm. But again, the similar thing that happens in the security department has happened in the police department. Because we have police officers on vacation, they still have their government issued firearm, which they should have handed over those firearms, right?
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Ramirez?
Well, Mr. Casimiro, first of all, I want to tell you thank you again. Thanks for taking up the challenge of being the co-host, and thank you to have invited me once again. And I just want to tell the community thanks. If there's any time you guys believe that I can be of help to you, you can come to my office. There's issues we can discuss. I'm very confidential. I know that there's something, the Creole say is not everything you eat good for talk about. Yes, again, we have to be mindful how we talk to some of our own, because it is like talking in we call it social media. Everybody know your business, and there are times that you want to be very confidential it might be something private. I am there. I have now basically have an office here in San Ignacio, we refer to as the Western Regional Office. I'm now accepting to hear concerns from the community. It is not officially open, but definitely I have the seating facilities. I have an air condition so you can feel less stressed. So please, my number remains the same as 607-8577. If you try call and I do not answer, please give me a text, and I definitely will respond to your concern. I know that we continue to get a concern about music. We are working our utmost best to try to resolve it one way or the other. I would not want anybody to take the lions into their own hands, because I know frustration is another issue that not anybody can maintain the frustration. I know that a lot of persons are basically time bombs. It's just one snap and we are there. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope and pray that what happened recently, that I don't see it at least for the rest of the year 2016. Magnitude of 7 murders in 1 week. And that is it. And apart from that, I would like to just say again to the rank and file of San Ignacio, Belopan, Rowing Creek, Banking, have a good night, be safe, and take care. See you another time. Good night.
All right, Mr. Ramirez, thank you for accepting the invitation for being on the show. I know last week I was here with Corporal Jones, and we kept getting texts and text messages and calls asking when would Mr. Ramirez be on the show again. So I must say, in that very short span of time, you accepted our request and you're here, you presented yourself, and you gave us some very informative things when it comes to firearm on a whole, and also what people could do when they visit the police station and they meet police officers being rude to them. I must say that your segment here on the show has been very informative, and I would like to extend my appreciation to you for accepting the invitation to be here. And I know the viewers had much of their questions answered, and I think they are mostly satisfied. For the viewers at home, it doesn't end here. This is a weekly thing that we do now, the Police Checkpoint Talk Show. You can always get on board if there's any concerns or challenges you face in your community. You can always visit the nearest police station, or you can join us to remedy the situation. There are special volunteers, special constables, there are citizens on patrols. We have a lot of programs out there that you can join in order to help the police fight crime in your area. Again, we'd like to thank you for viewing in, thank you for calling in, thank you for texting, thank you for watching. I'm your host, PC Casimiro, Mr. Andrew Ramirez, Senior Superintendent, Commander, Western Region. We say thank you from our studios here. Again, big up to Channel 10, the national channel. Good night, everybody.
Can do, cause if you follow them, it's trouble for you. Cause there is a lot the police can do. I come to show what police can do. I'm going to show what police can do. I'm going to make you swallow all of your teeth. You live pan soup, can't eat no meat. And then I'm going to carry you down a station. Let me friend them get piece of the action. I did come for reason with you, cause I know what woman can do. I am a man of the world like you. My woman could give me bun too. I was going to let you off of the hook, but you come and call me Babylon book. I going to show what police can do. I'm going to show what police can do. A long time I noticed some of you man. It seems like